Hello everyone, my name is Demercenary, and this is my first Destiny 2 build guide video. This build focuses around the Ursa Furiosa Titan Exotic, as well as the Banner Shield Titan Super. This is one of my personal favorite builds, as it brings me back to my time playing Overwatch as Reinhardt, and that was the single most fun that I've ever had in a video game. So being able to do that in Destiny which is my personal favorite game, is amazing. Minimum you need is Ursa Furiosa, Resilience, Discipline, both at 100. If you have those three things, then this is all that you really need for the build. Everything else is extra. For a kinetic slot, I go with Arbalist, but you can go for any insert champion mod right here. You could go Witherhoard, you could go Wishunder, you could even go Bastion, or any others that you can think of. Just go for a champion mod weapon right here. You don't even need to go exotic. You can go anti-barrier sniper rifle or unstoppable shotgun if you really want. Energy slot. This is also up to personal preference. All that you need that is required is a Void primary, or you could even go something like the Enigma Glaive, if that is a champion mod that season, or if you just like it. The reason that I go Unforgiven is because it gets the very rare role of Demolitionist and Adrenaline Junkie, which will help keep your grenades topped off, as well as reload the gun with every single grenade you throw and every single kill you get. With every single grenade kill, you get 33% damage buff for the Unforgiven SMG, which will allow it to shred through enemies. Personally, I never liked the aggressive frames, but with Demolitionist giving it a very fast reload, it makes it feel a lot better. Because my personal problem with it was that the reload was very slow, and the magazine was very small. But Demolitionist fixed both of those problems, as well as giving it a buff to your grenade recharge rate. Heavies. The single best in slot linear fusion rifle is Taipan 4FR. That is obviously why I am going for this exotic. It is very, very good, but if you do not want to go linears because they're not your thing, I completely understand that, they're pretty boring. You can go the Deathbringer exotic rocket launcher, you can go the other half exotic sword, or you can go something along the lines of the Corrective Measure exotic machine gun from the Vaults of Glass raid. Subclass, you want Banner Shield, obviously. The Barricade, Jump, and Melee are all up to personal preference. I go Towering so that you can get more cover. I go for Catapult for extra movement speed. And I go Shield Throw so I can reproc my Overshield from afar. If you like Shield Bash, go for it. If you like the other two jumps, go for it. If you like Rally Barricade, go for it. It gives you a faster cooldown, and it gives your teammates buffs. It's a very good ability. It's just up to personal preference. Grenades, again, a personal preference thing, but I think that Vortex Grenade will be the best, as it allows you to apply the weakened debuff to enemies for a much longer time. The only one that I would not recommend is Void Wall Spike. Void Spike, because that can be destroyed by enemies. Bastion and Offensive Bulwark are your fragments. Bastion will give your teammates a overshield as well as yourself every single time you cast a super or place a barricade. Offensive Bulwark, while you have an overshield, you get increased grenade recharge rate. You also get more melee damage, which is nice. First fragment is something that you can swap out. I go for Echo of Dilation for the plus 10 intellect, but you can easily swap that out for Echo of Obscurity for invisibility, or Echo of Starvation for Devour. Or if you don't like any of those three options, you can go Echo of Remnants so that your Vortex Grenade lasts longer, or you can go something completely different. The two that are required, though, are Echo of Undermining, which will apply Weaken with your Void Grenades, and Echo of Instability, which will give your void weapons volatile rounds every single time you get a grenade kill. That will buff the damage of Unforgiven and the type in 4FR or any other void heavy that you use. Next, for Armour Mods, Fonts of Wisdom is one of my personal favorites, as it will turn this 50 intellect all the way to 100 intellect. For 30 whole seconds, just for picking up a void well. It's a very useful mod, as it just gives you plus 50 intellect. That's very nice. Next, Elemental Time Dilation and 2 stacks of Font of Might will give you 16 seconds of Font of Might, which I believe is a 20 or 25% damage bonus just for picking up a well that matches your subclass. Elemental Ordnance is your well maker, which goes into the Unforgiven's Adrenaline Junkie, as well as Echo of Instability. If somebody else is using a well generator mod for you, then you could swap this out with another Font of Might. And if you do not like Font of Wisdom, then you can go slap on another Font of Might. All personal preference, just whatever you want. Personally, I go for Font of Wisdom and Elemental Ordnance because I cannot rely on my teammates, because everyone's bad except for me. Next, I go for Linear Fusion Rifle Ammo Finder and Scavenger to double up on Arbalist and Taipan. That's going to change for whatever you're using. I'm just go that for because that's what I'm using. Next, you want Grenade Kickstart and you want Fastball. Fastball you can swap out for Insert Champion mod, but Grenade Kickstart is very useful. You can also swap out Grenade Kickstart for let me see, what is it? You can go Impact Induction to get your melee back faster, or you could go Bolstering Detonation, so every time that you cause damage with a grenade, you get your class ability faster. Personally, I go for Grenade Kickstart, just so I can get more grenades. You're going to do Insert Damage Resistance mods, just whatever is up that season. And for your class item, you want to go either Stasis or you want to go Solar. Stasis so you get more barricades faster, as well as it gives you more mod slots because Utility Kickstart only costs 1. Or you want to go Solar so that you can go Bomber. Personally, I go Utility Kickstart because that way I can use Discipline mod and Font of Might. But once again, personal preference. Finally, the most important part of the endgame for Destiny 2 is the drip. This is one of my favorite drips that I've made. The lines on the helmet, on the visor, go pretty well with the shoulders as well as the stomach. Unfortunately, there is no shader that makes the fur on the chest piece, class item, or helmet exactly the same as the arms, but I feel like I got pretty close. The leg spikes go with the shoulder spikes, as well as just big and meaty to go with those shoulder blades. Next, the helmet. There was no helmet that had hair on it besides this one, and unfortunately there is no shader that makes that piece of hair the same color as these. But all things considered, I think it looks very good. We'll be updating as the seasons go on, new shaders come out, and new pieces of armor come out. But, all things considered, this is one of my favorites. Thank you for watching. Have a good one.